Hi guys, Victor's from marketing here. Today we are in the beautiful Latvian swamps, and for a good reason we chose an outdoor location. Today we are starting a new series called MikroTik Staff Ultra Value Picks. The idea is that MikroTik staff, like me for example, want to remind you about some of the classic, maybe even forgotten by some of you, devices that offer great features for amazing price, and they are in stock. So come with me. But in fact, don't go anywhere. Stay here and I will stay here. And today you can call me Gordon Ramsay, because I have not one but two exquisite dishes for you. The Lite 5 and the LHG5. So the name of the game is 5 GHz. These are point-to-point devices, very similar, but there are some differences. And what you can do for the price of, I don't know, 2 large pizzas in, well, I guess it's an expensive pizza place, but for the price of a couple of pizzas, you can get an amazing point-to-point device that can establish a powerful connection hundreds of meters, a couple of kilometers. With this, maybe even 10, 20, 50 kilometers we've even seen. So I will tell you about the differences first. So the big difference you see is the construction, right? The LHG has a wind-resistant enclosure. So you can mount it on a higher mast. The wind will not strike it down. Higher mast means better distance for your connections, and it also has a higher antenna gain. That's why you can use the LHG for distances in tens of kilometers. This baby has other strong sides to it. The wind can move it around maybe if you're not an expert in mounting, but it is so much more snow resistant. Snow doesn't get stuck on it, right? It's it's easy to catch if you drop it. But don't drop it. Just don't use slippery gloves like I do. So yeah, the disc light, it will help you in shorter distances because the antenna gain is lower. However, you can still manage like a couple of kilometers. And let's talk about use cases. So the coolest use case I have seen is sharing, because sharing is caring. And I've seen people sharing their internet connection. For example, there's this one guy who has a Starlink connection in the middle of nowhere. No other internet connectivity is available. So he has a Starlink, and he also has a neighbor like across the field, like something you would see here, but without the trees. And he uses these disc lights just to share his satellite connection with the neighbor. So they both can watch a MikroTik YouTube channel online. But if the distance was bigger, he would use LHG. He could mount it on a mast or a tower, and then he could share the connection not only with his neighbor, but maybe even with a distant village. Because connectivity in these rural areas can be tricky. And that's why these devices have 100 megabit Ethernet ports. The price is very nice. So, but you have to sacrifice something, right? If you are in a location with limited connectivity, 100 megabits is all you need. And we've seen also disc lights connecting, like if you live on a farm and you have another building somewhere with the kettle or maybe a sauna. You can also use these disc lights to connect your buildings. And I mentioned that it does a couple of kilometers easily, but if you limit the power, even 100 meters will do. So it's a very versatile tool. Get one of these and you're good for most of the use cases. Now back to the mounting once again. As you see, the LHG is designed to withstand bigger challenges at some points. So you have more mounting options. It features all sorts of accessories, and you can mount it in so many different ways. and it will stay there for ages. This Lite has less mounting options, so it's a more simple device in a way, but yeah, just for different use cases. Like I said, LHG has to withstand all kinds of punishment because you can mount it not only on towers or masts. We've seen them on high-rise buildings, and you know, the wind in the cities also can get quite crazy because it has all this space to gain momentum between the buildings, and complicated wind physics come into play here. So, but I digress. The basic use case for you is to not spend a ton of money to bridge two locations. If the locations are nearby and you don't have access to higher towers, use the disc Lite. If the locations are more far away from each other, and if you are so lucky and have a tower or a mast, and the line of sight is good as well, use the LHG. They are both in stock, the price is right, and wonderful devices. Many of my colleagues are using them in their countryside getaways.